Coming to this now, South Africans are remembering Nelson Mandela today, 30 years after his release from prison. I'm now joined by the former Springbok sports psychologist, Henning Gerrick. Of course, Madiba used rugby as one of the tools to help unite South Africa. And Henning, of course, is here to tell us more about, what he had in his encounter be like with the former president of the Republic. Thank you for your time and welcome.
Yeah, it's great being here, chatting to you.
So when the announcement was made that, Nelson Mandela would be released, what do you remember about that day? Where were you and how was the atmosphere like in the country?
Yeah, it was wonderful. We were really waiting for that to happen. And the great thing about it for sports and the whole country to unite people. And we're one nation. We've got different backgrounds, different cultures, but we can be so powerful if we're one nation. And it was, for me, excitement. It's like yesterday, actually, if I think about it, 30 years back.
Right. And there are two sports that, we all know Madiba was absolutely fond of. It has to be boxing, one,
definitely.
And then rugby, which he absolutely believed could be a unifier of South Africa's different and diversity when it came to culture and traditions. How was your interaction with him like?
Yeah, I remember when it was 2007, actually, he came to our change room, actually. And we didn't expect it. And he came into our change room and he wanted to talk to the players. So it came from him. That was so special. He was so humble, coming to us and motivate us, but he really inspired us. And he told us one thing I'll never forget. He told the team, in life, you'll always have fears. But if you challenge your fears with courage, you'll be a champion. And we went out and we won the World Cup. And we used that quote as posters for us against the walls in France and everywhere we went to remind us what he said. No fears. Go with courage and unite as a team. And that was special. He won the World Cup, and it wasn't about him for himself, and it was about the country, and it's about what can he do for people. And he reminded us we've got something more to give than just winning a World Cup.
Yeah, I remember right here on ENCA when we had a conversation with Zelda Grant just after, Siya Kolisi and the rugby team that won World Cup in Japan. I was thinking to myself, how proud would he be of, South Africa taking this World Cup just once again? I mean, how do you think he would feel seeing the country once more united, but also, being celebrated as the world's best in the sport?
Yeah, it's just a pity that we can't do it more than just winning a World Cup, because I think what he had in mind is it must be every day like that in South Africa. It mustn't be a once-off every 4 years.
Right.
And I think we still need to look back at that legacy and say, how can we live that legacy every day, like today? What can we do today to make a difference? A small little thing. We don't need to win a World Cup. We can do a small thing, reach out to one another, care for one another, show one another courage. And that's the important thing, not the World Cup, actually, what we do every day.
Yeah. And Henning, today as we reflect even on that day, historic day 30 years ago when he was released from prison, what are some of the lessons you think the country should take moving forward as a future? Because it's all well and good to reflect on the day, celebrate it, commemorate it, but we have to pick up the baton at some point as a country and move forward. What do you think then, how we can do that?
Yeah, I think there's going to be tough times. There's always going to be tough times, but his calmness, his composure, listening, caring for people, I think those are the things that are important that I learned from him, and I think all of us can take forward that every day we can be reminded we're one nation, we need to stand together, we need one another, we're so much stronger when we're together, and those differences we need to sort out in a good way. And he was the example, he was the ultimate example for that, and I think those are the things that I'll remember. For us as a team, we were different cultures, different players, but he really reminded us, you want team, you're going to go out and you're going to do it for one another, you're going to do it for the country. So he saw the bigger picture. For him, it wasn't success. It's about achieving success. It's about significance, leaving a legacy for other people to look up and make a difference in people's lives. Poor people, whatever, unite people. So there was a bigger picture that I don't think we see every day. And that's a legacy he left for us, I think.
And I think for most people, perhaps who haven't even met Nelson Mandela, who had the same privilege that you have to meet him, see him as this, glorified icon who is just larger than life. But you had more of a personal interaction with him at least once or so. What do you think people will be shocked to learn about Madiba? If you said, if I were to tell them this, they'll be like, wow, we had no idea that he was this kind of a man.
Yeah, I've only met him twice, actually, but I spent some, and he spoke like I'm sitting with you, and he spoke to me. And one thing I'll remember about him is he wanted you to be special. It wasn't about him. So it was about, he was listening to you, and he was old in 2007. It was I mean, he couldn't go to the World Cup as well, but he sent us wishes and everything, but he made you special. So you are important, not him. And that's a quality, a special quality. It wasn't about ego. It wasn't about nothing. It's about you are special. And he's listening to you, and you are thinking, Nelson Mandela is listening to what I'm saying. And you want to do more because of that.
Right.
And that was special. So it was nothing. It was the simple things that counted for me, not his humbleness, his caring, his reaching out. And he's really, you could see it was genuine. It wasn't, I mean, every day he had appointments.
Right.
But he took time out with the players, one-on-one, and he took a picture after the World Cup. And like I said, he was tired in Houghton, in his house. And he spent time with each person, take a picture, look at the camera, smile, say something personally to that person. For 30 players and 20 management, for 2 hours doing that, that takes something else.
It's a special man who can only do that. But thank you so much for sparing these special moments and sharing them with us, Henning. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, then. Well, we leave it at that. That's former Springbok psychologist Henning joining us right here on The Rundown.